All right, go ahead.
So I covered the 4 vital behaviors on call number 1, which was on Monday. So tonight what we can do is we can talk about our why and how that is important and how it's different from your fitness why, how it's different from your coaching why, and also a little bit about vision. So I guess if you want, Greg, we can do...
You want to do? Why don't we do week 1 and 2? You know.
Yeah. Do you want to do though? We can just introduce ourselves really quick, and we'll go over our why. Okay. So a little bit about me for everyone on the call who doesn't know me. I started my fitness journey in the summer of 2012. It was actually July. It was July 4th. Crazy to start my fitness journey on a holiday, but it's great because you never forget the date, right? July 4th of 2012. And I started it right after making some very important and much needed life changes in my life. I was just getting out of rehab for alcohol addiction and prescription drug addiction, depressed, anxiety. I always looked for help or escape in either drinking or taking as much drugs as I can, any kind of drugs, any type of drugs. My favorite was Xanax and also pain pills. But I went into rehab. I got some help. And when I got out, I knew that in order to continue being sober and continuing to make sure that, because even after rehab, I was still a wreck. Most people are, and I needed to do something that would fill my mind with positive energy, and plus I was 260 pounds and, totally unhealthy. So working out was something that I had to do. Had no idea what Beachbody was. Most people don't. Insanity. My wife ordered it off the infomercial. We paid the 3 payments of $30 or whatever it is, $40. And we got the program, and we started it on July 4th. And it destroyed me. I think I died 3 times. And then I went to the Beachbody message boards and asked for help and asked some questions, and that's where I found Greg. And Greg answered my question. He told me to come and check out his group, and I'm like, what is this? All these people are crazy. They just do their workouts and then they post that they did their workout. That's insane. I've never heard of anything like that. So I said, well, let me give it a try. So long story short, that group was awesome. I was very shy in the beginning. I don't know if you remember that, Greg, and I didn't talk much. And then in the beginning, and then I started to get to know the people that were in the group, friends with them, and some of them, this is going, over 5 years ago, that are still around. Tanya, Shelly from our group, Shelly Rogers, the great grandmother that we have, she was in that group with Greg in my first group over 5 years ago. And we made a connection. I made a connection with a lot of people in that group. And then I started opening up, and then the workouts started to become, I don't want to say fun, but the group held me accountable. And I know if it wasn't for the group, Greg, I never would have finished Insanity, and who knows what would have happened to me after that. But I did, and then shortly after, 5 months, 6 months, I became a coach after telling Greg no a few times. Then I finally said yes, and then Shakeology, big part of my journey and big part of my results that I was getting. So the coach discount helped a lot there. And then I started learning a little bit about the business, and kind of like I said last night, Tanya, it wasn't like I became a coach and then I jumped right in and was being successful and went to Emerald, Diamond, it took time. It took time, but I was having fun doing it. I was having fun doing it, having fun talking to people about it, meeting people, learning about coaching, how it works. And then eventually I worked my way up to become an Emerald coach, a Diamond coach. And then my business really took off, and I had Greg as an amazing mentor, training with me, and it has done so much for me. And one of the big things that we talk about as coaches, something that we all need to possess, is our why. And we talk about that with fitness a lot. It's like, great, yeah, you want to lose weight, you want to get healthy, you want to get sober, okay, well, you need a why. Why do you want to do that? Because it's difficult. It's extremely difficult. And there's going to be obstacles, and there's going to be struggles, and you're going to mess up, and you're going to wake up and you're not going to want to push play. You're going to go out to eat and not get the healthy salad, you're going to get the pasta, and you're going to have these struggles. And in order to overcome them, having that strong, powerful, personal why is going to get you through that. Okay, so for instance, if you went to the doctor and the doctor told you, listen, I just ran some tests and this is the diagnosis. You have 30 days to live. That's it. You're going to be dead in 30 days. You're going to die. And there's only one cure. If you work out 30 minutes a day and you eat healthy, you follow this meal plan, in 30 days you will live. But if you don't, you're going to die. And just think about that, if that was like the reality. And for some people it is, but if that was a true reality, like do this stuff and you'll live, but in 30 days, if you don't do it, you're going to die. That's a pretty powerful why, right? I'm sure everybody in the world would do that every day, work out every day, and choose healthy every day in order to live. So that's a little extreme example, but that is how your why has to be. It has to be that important to you. For some people, it's their kids, getting healthy for their kids. For other people, it's for themselves to get healthy. Maybe there's family history. For me, my why was to get healthy, but to stay sober. That was my why. I never wanted to go back to the person that I was, because I would have been dead. Honest to God, I would not be here tonight talking to you guys. I would be 6 feet under if I went back to drinking, because that's the path I was on. So that's a very strong why for me, and that's why I do my workouts every day. And that's why I coach too. See, now your coaching why has to be the exact same thing. If you want to do this as a business, if you want to do this and create something special, get that financial freedom, you are going to face challenges, you're going to face struggles, you're going to have to step out of your comfort zone, you're going to have to do things you never thought you would do. But if your why is strong enough, you are going to do those things. And there's going to be lots of failures. Everybody who has success, I don't care who you talk to, they are sitting on atop a mountain of failures. Everybody fails. You cannot become successful unless you go through failures. And the people that don't have strong whys in this business will sink right into all those failures, and they'll quit and they'll give up. But the people who have those strong whys, they are going to always succeed, no matter how long it takes. No one is born successful. Everyone has to fight for it. But the great thing with coaching is this opportunity. There's so many. There's the way that it's set up is it really is much easier than any other business you would start. Like if you were going to open up a pizza parlor, and go to the bank and take out a loan for $100,000 and have overhead and ordering and blah, blah, blah. With Beachbody, they take care of everything. The whole infrastructure is already set up. So you're only responsible for doing one thing, and that is Beachbody's mission statement, which is helping other people live healthier, more fulfilling lives. You know, and if you can do that, and you have your why that's going to back that up, you know, you're going to be very successful in this business. So, rambling on, you want to add? Go, Greg.
Yeah, that was very good stuff. You know, it's important that even if you want to be successful in your weight loss journey and your fitness, that you have a deep why, a deeply important why, like Brian was saying, because if your why is, oh, I want to lose 5 or 10 pounds, yeah, I mean, you might do it, you know, but as soon as something better comes up, a vacation, or a distraction like work, you're going to fall off. You're going to quit, right? It all happens to us. But like Brian said, if you were going to die, right, you're never going to quit, right? Or if you want to be around for your kids, or if you have some deep-seated why, you're going to be successful. And that applies to this business too. If you just, you know, want to stick your toe in the water and, you know, kind of see what this coaching thing's about, and if it's for you, yeah, you know, you're probably going to quit, you know. But if it's more, or if you can develop a why that's stronger, then that's going to keep you going and passionate, because that's what you got to do. You got to figure out a why that is going to drive you and make you passionate about this. And coaching, there are so many advantages to coaching, right? I mean, Brian's already told you, right, I'm sure, like all the advantages and the discounts and the community and the, you know, the motivation. And, you know, I became a coach to keep myself accountable, because I knew if I helped people, that would keep me accountable to my fitness. And, you know, I had lost 40 pounds and I got off blood pressure medication. So my fitness was my primary reason in the beginning. And I love Shakeology and I wanted the discount. So that was another reason, right? But, you know, that wasn't enough. And particularly, it wasn't enough to make me a successful coach like I am today, okay? That was enough to keep me going as a coach, right? And having fun and treating it like a hobby, but it wouldn't be enough to propel me to be a 9-star, 3-time elite coach who's earned over $1 million in this business. So what I recently, just because I'm in another group, I recently just kind of dove into my why, and I figured out why I did become successful. And it's because I have a deep-seated why to be the best at whatever I do. And I've always been, you know, one of the best at my job, at my corporate job. I was in IT for 20 some years. I was always the best. And I worked for a number of companies, and I was always a top rated, you know, engineer. And this company that I worked for got bought out, new management came in, and they fired my ass. You know, I went out on Christmas break being the top in the company. I come back from Christmas break and I get called into the VP's office, and he goes, "Greg, I'm letting you go." Just like that. So it doesn't matter if you've got the best job in the world. It doesn't matter if you are the top person in your company. They don't give a damn about you, you know? And that's what I realized that day. I mean, it hit me like a ton of bricks. That's why I ended up gaining 50 pounds. You know, that's why I got depressed, you know? And it all stemmed from that, which as a man, right, having to provide for your family, that's devastating, right, to lose your job just like that. So I knew that I never wanted to be in that predicament again. And that if I was going to be able to provide for myself and be financially independent, I needed to pour my time and resources into an opportunity that would allow me to do that. And I didn't know what that opportunity was. I didn't know Beachbody was that opportunity when I started. But the more that I dug in, the more that I learned about the potential of what the more that I worked this business.
Is that you, Greg?
No, not me. Might be Tanya. Let me mute up everybody. So that became my driving why, because I wanted that anything that I did for myself, right? You are the owner of your own business. This is your business. I'm not your boss. Brian's not your boss. You know, you don't have a boss. So if you don't do anything, no one's going to care. I mean, Brian might care a little bit, right? But, you know, if you don't show up, it's not like you don't show up for your job. You know, if you don't show up for your job, you're not going to have a job much longer, right? You don't show up for coaching, no one cares, right? Except you're not going to fulfill your dreams. You're not, if you have a goal of making $100 a week, you don't show up, you're only hurting yourself, you know? And if you have a goal of being able to bring yourself home from work, like I did, be able to quit that job, if you have a goal of being able to be home with your kids, or if you have a goal of being able to bring your spouse home, or to be able to pay for your kids' education at that school, whatever it is, you're only hurting yourself by not pouring yourself into this opportunity. Because if you could fulfill those dreams with your job, I guarantee you'd be busting your ass for that job, but you can't. You know, none of us can. They're not going to give us a $10,000 raise just because we want to send our kids to a better school. You know, they don't care. You're a widget. And that's what I realized, you know? So this was my opportunity, and that's why I worked so hard, and that's why I became so successful in this. So do you want to move on, Brian, or
Yeah, well, just going on what you said, you know, that strong why, like I shared, like my why, my emotional, my spiritual why, you know, to be healthy physically, mentally, you know, to stay sober, to not go to keep hope in my life and not go back to where I was in the depression that I had. But what Greg also talked about is I also have those financial whys, and those happened to me once I started working with this business and I started to have just a little bit of success. And kind of like Greg, I'm the same way, where I want to be the best at anything. You know, so if I'm going to try something, I'm going to do it 100%, 1,000%, because I want to be the best at doing it. So once I had a little bit of success with coaching and, you know, sold a challenge pack or shake, and I was like, oh, wow, I just got a check for $40. How cool is that? That's pretty cool. You know, I was like, well, let me start thinking about some of goals and some things that I want to do. At that point in my life, I was had $60,000 of credit card debt. And that debt got piled up because of I used to own my own business, and then the economy crashed, and then I, you know, just ignored everything, and the bills piled up. Used my personal credit cards for everything, you know. So I was 60,000 credit card in debt. We were living in an apartment, and our dream was always to have a home. You know, so these things, I drove around a crappy Oldsmobile car, you know, so these were things, and you might think, well, those are material things. Well, material things, yeah, they are important things. So that became part of my why, my financial why, to get out of debt. You know, and I looked at it every day. What I did was, and this is kind of going into having a vision, you know, your vision of where you see yourself a year from now, 5 years from now. What I did was I took all of my credit card debt and I wrote it on a big whiteboard, and I had all the numbers there. And then I looked at it every single day and I said, I'm getting this to zero. And that's what I'm going to do with coaching. And coaching is going to let me do that. It's going to allow me to do that. And that was a driving why of mine. And then I would write it in there every time I make a payment on this card or that card. And I figured it out, you know, like how to get it paid off as quick as possible, like, you know, which had the lowest interest, blah, blah, blah. Pay that one at the lowest balance, pay that off first. But anyway, had all of that. And I looked at it every single day. I had it right in front of me. And when I would wake up at 4 a.m., and that's when I would start my coaching work. at 4, and I still had my full-time job. At 4 a.m., first thing I would see would be that whiteboard, okay? And then I would get to work. And it took me about a year and a half, and with this business, I paid off that credit card debt and got it to 0. We live now credit card debt free. We have absolutely no credit card debt. We use our cards. We pay it off in full every single month, which is awesome because then I get the miles and I get to travel for free. But paid off that credit card debt, and it was because I had that vision constantly in front of me that I was looking at. That fueled along with my why allowed me to do that. And then obviously even bigger things happened. You know, my wife and I, we finally got that home that we've always wanted earlier this year. A lot of my coaching income that I've made over the past 4 years, that's where it's went to. It didn't go to like fancy cars, and it didn't go to like these luxurious vacations, and it didn't go to like, let's go on a shopping spree. You know, it went into the bank, and it went into credit card debt, and it went into saving for a home. And this year, finally, back in March, we were home hunting for like 6 months. We finally found the perfect home, the one that spoke to us when you walk into it, and we both looked at each other and we got goosebumps and we knew it. And I was able to do it. I was able to buy this home that I'm in now. And it's all because of coaching. And it was all because of the vision that I had and my strong why that I had. So now I have even bigger goals. You know, Greg talked about it too. One of his goals was to leave that corporate life. And he did it, you know, and I was so jealous when he did it. It's been like 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and that went on my vision board, was to one day bring myself home from work, and then to bring my wife home from work. And that's still up there on the vision board. That is still up there, and that is still why I work hard. That is what I want to do. Okay. So, having financial wise is, you know, you have to have some of those financial wise with this business.
Okay. You want to talk about social media now?
Yeah, we can talk about social media real quick.
Okay. Real quick. Social media is a huge topic, but
5 minutes.
Yeah. But what you guys want to do is you want to start sharing, okay? And even before we get into social media, the people that you want to start sharing with is the people that you already know, right? Those are what we call your warm market. So your family, your friends, like we were teasing Tanya that she already knows somebody who's doing 21 Day Fix. We're like, get her on your team, you know? I mean, either as a coach or as a customer, you know, especially if she doesn't have a coach or whatever. And that's easy to do, especially if you guys know somebody who is working out. Just say, hey, you know, just let them know. I've decided to become a Beachbody coach and start helping other people. And I'm going to be setting up my own support group, either on Facebook or on the Team Beachbody app. And just invite, you know, say, hey, would you be interested in joining with me? You know, just keep each other accountable, support each other, give each other motivation. And if you approach people like that, I bet you 90% of them would say, yeah, I'll do that, you know? And they don't necessarily have to be doing Beachbody. Just invite them to join your group, and just whatever, you know, whatever. You could run a free challenge with them. You could give them the clean week to do for free, or give them an ab challenge, or give them just a clean eating diet program to follow. Who cares? Just get people involved and engaged with you and be their coach. And that's going to help you, right? That's going to give you confidence. And then eventually you can, you know, offer them more, like a challenge pack, you know, especially if you could get them to try like Clean Week, for example. You know, then they're going to get a taste of Beachbody on Demand. And after they do that for a week and the diet, and hopefully they lose 5 pounds, then say, hey, wouldn't you like to continue? Wouldn't you like to try, you know, maybe you got the Shakeology sampler. Wouldn't you like to get a bag of it now? And you can, you know, offer them the All Access Pass Challenge Pack, which is the best deal that Beachbody has, you know? So I would say, like, even before social media, you can reach out to your close friends and family or coworkers, you know, people that have already noticed a transformation in you, people that have already noticed you have lost weight or working out, and just don't be afraid to talk to them. You're not trying to sell them anything. You're just saying, hey, I'm going to start a support group. Would you be interested in joining with me? You know, and like I said, so then once you get into social media, right? I mean, obviously you want to start that as soon as possible as well, because you want to start sharing, and social media allows you to share with more people what you're doing, and people that you don't talk to every day, or people that don't see you, you know? If you have a transformation, it doesn't matter if it's 10 pounds or 5 pounds or whatever, you could post that. You know, if you have a great before and after, post it. If you don't, that's okay. Post a picture of yourself and say, what has doing 21 Day Fix for the past 3 weeks done for me? You know, hey, I've lost more weight, or I've lost 10 pounds. I am sleeping better. It's changed the way I eat. It's changed the way I feel about myself. I've decided to become a coach and start helping other people with this amazing program. You know, you were to post like that to all your friends, and I bet you're going to get like 100 comments of like, hey, you know, tell me more about it, or you know, how can I get it or start it or do something like it or whatever, you know. And then you could start sharing your fitness journey, right? I mean, like you're probably already posting in Brian's group, right? His fitness group. But does anybody else know that you're working out? You know, start sharing. Like, you know, you don't have to share the sweaty, ugly selfie. You could just start sharing, you know, hey, I worked out today, or hey, it was a struggle to get up this morning at 5 a.m. when the alarm went off, but I did it, you know, and that's going to give encouragement to people and support to people. And you know, you don't want to come across as salesy, like you're trying to sell something. Like, yeah, you can take a picture of yourself with your Shakeology and share it, but you don't want to be salesy about it. You want to be like, you know, I'm so thankful that I can have this superfood smoothie on the way to work, and I don't have to no longer stop at McDonald's or Starbucks on the way, you know, and that's all you have to say, you know. So start sharing every day. You want to make sure, some tips on social media, you want to make sure that you have a profile picture of you, right? Because people are going to need to see you to believe in you, okay? Open up your profile to be public. Start sharing it with everybody so that everybody can see what you're doing, because you're going to have friends that are liking your stuff and commenting on your stuff. And if you're open, then their friends can see it as well. And they may want to share your post with their friends, you know, especially if you announce, hey, I'm starting up a clean eating group, you know, maybe they would love to share that post on their timeline, you know, and invite their friends. So that's why you want to be public. And then once you do decide to make yourself public, then you want to clean up your timeline, or actually before you make yourself public, you want to clean it up. So if you've got anything political on there or divisive or hateful, get rid of it. You know, if you've got something that, I don't know, your kids that you don't want people to see, you can set permissions on a photo album so that no one else can see them except your close family or friends, you know. But, you know, get in the habit, come out of your shell and start sharing. And that is, for most of us introverted people, you know, like myself, that is very difficult to do. But just set yourself a goal of, I'm going to do 1 post a day, you know, and then over time increase it. Okay, now I'm going to do 2 posts a day, you know, and then you're thinking, well, what in the world am I going to post about? Well, think about what interests you. Okay, fitness is one thing that now interests all of us. We all have that in common. But what else interests you? Your mom, your dad, you're a pet lover, you know, maybe you love The Walking Dead like I do. Maybe you're into crocheting. I don't know, you know, and start sharing about those things too, right? So a lot of the top coaches, they say post 5 times a day, and they say post on those 5 things that you have, that you're interested in, maybe faith, fitness, family, and they'll just spread out their posts over the day, and that's how they create these huge followings, because they have so much content and value that they're providing to everybody. And it doesn't have to be on Facebook. There are tons of coaches that use Instagram. Instagram's hugely popular. And if you want to start fresh, for example, you just open up an Instagram, Snapchat, whatever, YouTube, if you like to do videos. But I would say pick 1 or 2 platforms and just start sharing, So those are kind of the broad overview tips about social media. Do you have anything you want to add there, Brian?
Yeah, and you guys, Tanya and Matt, after the call's over, I'm going to share some links with you guys in Facebook chat. Everything that we're talking about, like Greg was mentioning, some of the do's and don'ts, also the why that we were talking about. So if we're going fast for you, don't worry, you're going to get this material. You'll have something to look at and work off of. One thing with Facebook, like for me, when I started as a coach, I had 10 friends on Facebook, and they were all my family. And Greg tried to get me to go on Facebook, and like he said, most coaches are introverts, and I am an introvert. And I didn't want to share anything on Facebook. And first, I didn't know how. I didn't know how to use Facebook, and I had to learn this thing. But like I talked about before, your why and your vision will make you learn things that you need to be learning. So I went on Facebook, I learned about it, I learned how it works, and then I started to apply these tools that I was learning. And next week we're going to talk about how to expand your warm market on social media. So I started to apply these tools, and I started to get more friends on Facebook, and I started to share more on Facebook, and not just Beachbody stuff, but I started to share other things. And then I got more followers and more friends, and then I did a like page on Facebook, which is something we'll talk about next week. And you can run Facebook ads, because it all boils down to, as with any business, we need to find customers. And with this business, it's amazing because even though it's also kind of sad and disheartening, but there's over, what is it, 65 million people in the United States alone who are obese or overweight, so there are so many people out there that need our help. I think that number is even higher. But there's so many people out there. Now we're in the UK and Canada, so there is a demand for the solutions that we are providing. Okay, the only question is, oh my God, how do I reach all those people? Well, you have your warm market, which is your immediate area, everybody around you, your friends, your family, your coworkers, people you come into contact with every day. And then you have what we call your cold market, which is the people that you're actively going out there trying to see, trying to get more friends on Facebook, trying to get more followers on Facebook. Or any other social media platform that you're using. And some coaches don't even do that. Some coaches do that within their community. You can become a certified trainer with Beachbody. You can go and do fit clubs. And you can get, I had one coach, she's no longer a coach now, unfortunately, but that's what she did. She was okay on Facebook, but she became a certified trainer. She taught insanity classes in this tiny little town, and she got popular, and that's how she created her business. And she got everyone on Shakeology and doing the Beachbody workouts. So there's many different ways you can do it. For myself and for Greg, what we did, we used the social media platform, part of our business, and and I just went out there, and that's exactly what I did, sharing and then posting about the different groups. And I've made tons of mistakes, and that's why we do these training calls, because we're going to share with you guys, all the mistakes that we've made. Like, you never want to post a link to your page to buy Shakeology and say, I'm using Shakeology, it's so great. If you want to buy it, here's the link. Never. That's icky. You want to get people interested in what you are doing, and you want to get people to come to you. And that's how I get the majority of my customers on social media now, is they come to me. I don't go to them. They come to me, and they say, well, what is that thing you're drinking that you're doing? And oh my God, you don't know it, but I've been following you for the last 3 months, and I've seen all your posts that you have been making about how you work out early in the morning, and you get, and finally I got the courage to reach out to you because I need help myself, and that's what happens when you start to do this, and these people will come to you. So it's if you're a little bit scared about social media and scared about sharing, you are not alone, because I was too, but I just worked through it, and I got over that. So let's talk a little bit about how do we do it on time. Okay, if you do meet somebody, real quick, if you do meet somebody and they are interested in somebody, Matt, you're at work and you're talking to your coworker, and they've noticed that, Matt, what are you doing? You look different. You look a little bit skinnier in the face, and you seem happier. What's going on? And see, right? Or maybe you're drinking your Shakeology at work, and you got your shaker cup there. People are coming. What is this? What are you drinking, Matt? And then you have somebody who is interested. So where do you go from there? Okay, and then that's when the conversation really starts about the fitness programs, Shakeology, and usually what happens is people, what you want to do is you want to get more information about them. you want to use these things here and not so much this, and listen to what they have to say. Ask them about their fitness, ask them about their nutrition, ask them what's missing, ask them different workouts maybe that they like, or what struggles that they're having, and gather all this information. And then you can find that solution for them. Now, Greg talked about All Access Pass. Well, that just gives you every single program. But then you, as their coach, you would have to recommend a program that they could do. And you're always going to recommend Shakeology, because Shakeology is, that goes with everything. That is our daily dose of nutrition. That is what's going to make you feel good. That is what's going to help you with the workouts. That is what you can use. I don't do it anymore, but when I started, I used Shakeology as a meal replacement. I used it for lunch. My lunch every day for 1.5 years was Shakeology. That was my lunch. So I use it as a meal replacement. It's amazing as a meal replacement. And people may come back at you once they say, well, $130? No way, I'm not spending that. And I'm like, well, I use it as a meal replacement. So instead of going to Burger King for lunch, or instead of spending money on lunch every single day, I'm drinking my shake, and I'm actually saving money, because if you imagine this, if you were to go into the grocery store right now, and you were to buy 30 lunches for the rest of the month, for the whole month, all at once, 30 lunches. Okay, how much money would you spend? You'd spend way more than $130 on those 30 lunches. And would they be healthy? So using Shakeology, was cheaper for me, because I was using it as a meal. Now I use it as my snack, my mid-afternoon snack. But I was using it as a meal replacement for 1.5 years straight, doing my workouts, watching what I eat most of the time. I still, treated, and I lost 100 pounds. So this stuff works. It works. And that's what I explain to people. That's what I tell people. So you're going to get people that will do it, and you give them the link for the challenge pack, and they'll get it. You'll get people that will give you objections, and one of the biggest objections that you will get is the money objection. And that's why what I said to you guys, what I like to do first is listen to them. Let them tell me, before I mention anything about any products or any solutions, let them tell me what they're struggling with. Let them tell me what their lifestyle is like right now. Let them tell me why they want to change it. How do they feel right now, and where do they want to get to feeling? How do they look right now, and where do they want to get to looking like? Is there some special event coming up? Is their daughter getting married, their son getting married? I want that information. And then when we finally start talking about, well, this is the solution for you. We're going to get you the All Access Challenge Pack. You're going to get Shakeology, and then the workout I selected for you is Focus T25 because it's a beginner program that kind of moves into advanced. And then they come back and they say, $160? No way! I can't afford that. And then you say, well, you just told me that you wake up feeling like crap every morning. You're so tired. You can't even get out of bed. You hit the snooze button 8 times in a row. And then you're late for work. You have headaches all day long. You're going to McDonald's even though you said in the morning that you're going to, bring a salad to work, but you woke up late and now you're going to McDonald's, to get that Big Mac or cheeseburger or whatever. You've told me all these things and I'm giving you a solution that's going to fix all that. Plus, we're going to get you into my support group, and you're going to be around your peers. You're going to be around other people, that it's going to help you be accountable to everything. You've told me, and now you're saying that $160 isn't worth all of that, to change all of that. So that's kind of the approach that I use with people. And then I get a lot of people, that come back and they're like, you know what, you're right. I got to do this for me. I got to invest in myself. And what happens also with a lot of people, if Shakeology is costs as much as it does for a reason. Obviously, there's all the ingredients that are in there that comes from all over the world. It's only the best stuff. In fact, Shakeology is pretty cheap for everything that is in there. But people, if you don't invest in something, it's very easy to quit it. It's very easy to forget about it. I'll give you an example. Tanya, if you were to win a brand new car tomorrow, win a sweepstakes, she's like, yeah. I mean, that would be awesome. You would love it. You'd have this brand new car. That's all you, and did you earn it? Well, you won it, that's awesome. Now take the other example of, say you wanted this brand new car and you worked your ass off for a year. You sweated, you worked overtime, you got a second job because you had a strong why. You really wanted that car. And then a year you saved up your money and then you bought it. So here's the car you won. Here's the car you earned, that you put blood, sweat, and tears into, that you bought, that you invested in. Which one are you going to take better care of? This one, right? So it is an investment. Health is an investment. And as coaches, that's what we have to explain to people, that you have to invest in yourselves. And yes, it takes money to do it. So that's the objection. The most objection you're going to get is the no money or it's too much money. So that comes, you explain the value of it, and you don't really have to tell them the price up front. Like I said, you get all their information first, and then you tell them about the solution. And people are still going to say no, which is okay. If they say no, what I do is I say, okay, you're not ready yet. After I try to get around their objection. You're not ready yet. Can I do this? Can I just reach out to you maybe in another 2 weeks, maybe next month? When my new group starts, and maybe you'll be ready then. And 99 out of 100 people will say, of course, reach out to me then. Then they go on your follow-up list. Okay, you have that follow-up list, and then you do that. Then you reach out to them again next month. Okay.
Although you can get people started for free, right? Just follow to
totally say that.
Beachbody On Demand free trial, right? They could do a 14-day free trial. Or just a clean week. They don't even have to sign up for, the BOD and put in their credit card. I mean, as a new coach, my goal would be just to get people into a group, and set yourself a goal. Like if they get a challenge pack, yep, that's the best solution. But if not, just figure out how to get them into your group. I would say create a list of 10 people that you have like in the top of your mind that you're thinking about right now, and talk to them, and this week, next week, and just plan a group. Just start a group on the app or on Facebook. That's real easy to do. I'm sure Brian can help you if you need it. But, you know, just reach out to those 10 people, talk to them at work or private message them or give them a phone call and just say, you know, hey, I know you're into fitness or whatever, or I know you want to lose weight just like me. Would you be interested in joining a support group with me? That I'm going to run and I become a coach. You could do it for free, or, you know, I would say, you know, obviously lead with the challenge pack, but if not, you can just say, try it for free. You know, I would just love to have you in my group. And, you know, I think if you could even get, like you asked 10 people, if you even get 2 people to join for free, that's going to boost your confidence. That's going to help you get your feet wet as a coach, you know, and then go from there. You know, the next week you find 10 more people that you can ask. All right, we're going to have to wrap up because we have another call that's starting in 3 minutes.
Hey, Greg.
Yeah.
Real quick, on our new coach training docs, the write your why, the 7 levels to a deeper why.
Yeah.
The link comes up 404 error, not found.
Uh-oh. Huh. Yeah, I probably used somebody else's link and they deleted it, so I'll have to look for it to see if I have it.
Okay.
I can give it to you if I downloaded it.
Okay,
All
so
right.
I'll get that to you guys at a later time, Matt and Tanya.
Yeah, but everyone can hang around for our team call if you want.